Hello. So, we continue our journey into the world of quick forms on Totem. In this example, we're going to expand their functionality a little bit. And the first thing we're going to start with is this. I have a warehouse of some sort here. It's got guitars and straps on it, 6 items. Nothing super outstanding. But I would like to have some of these products selected in the orders table when people go and start filling out their order. Because I would like to put these links that I have configured here somewhere on the site. And when a person clicks on the link, so that he or she gets to it immediately and has a specific item selected. Then he would fill it in, enter his name here, Alex. The address is Barcelona. Okay, save. And I would add an order with this position. And the person can't change it in any way. That's one situation. Another situation, so that he could change it. That is, it would be some proposed form, and he could change it. How is this done? We have the ability to generate links based on some data for forms. This is done through the link to form function. This is where I execute it, link to quick form. Path I specify the name of the form that we used when we created the form. And then there are 2 parameters here. One is fields and the other is fixed. They are the same in essence. That is, they are formed in the same way. We have to pass in the row that contains the field name and the value that we're going to pass into that field. The only difference between them is that if we pass fixed, these fields will be locked for humans. If we pass fields, those fields will be unlocked. So onto this link. It's generated without a protocol, without HTTPS. I've done some string splicing here. It's just I have a string that's formatted as a link, and this is where I'm getting them here. By the way, pay attention, the recalculation here is constantly updated, because here is an encrypted hash. So the encryption algorithms are arranged in such a way that every time it is a new one. But all these links, they will work. In this case, what are the peculiarities of the table, in which are the bases for the quick form? The peculiarity is that a field, for example, with this we pass, it must be visible to the role from which the form is opened, and it must be available for editing from the role from which the form works. Here I have a form, and we can see that this is indeed the case. But when this role is running the form, this encrypted hash, it prevents this field from being changed, and this validation happens on the server side. So if a person opens up the JavaScript here, they still won't be able to change this value. Okay, let's go back, and we see the second thing. From the form, we don't see a column for the processing status of this order. I go back to the administrator, and I have here the status of order processing. That is, it is new. I can say processed and so on. So in this way in one table can be combined both what the person adds from the form, and the information that relates to your technical information. Should not be shown in the form. How is this done? It's done through access customization. So we say that this field is visible, for example, for creators, for role 1, which I have here is the role for processing this table. Next we see that in the form I have here select. It's not a select, but it's locked, and it's this big. We've encountered this before. These are field processing options, because here we have the first field, this select, but we can assign different view types to it. And we can assign a view type of text. Next, we select the one we want here from the list. I've selected text. Next we right-click and we say by default. So this viewData field will be populated from the default values database. This is where all the possible options are pulled in. And we just don't need unnecessary ones here. For example, we don't need unitype. Waste will be removed. Let core remain as it is. Size 30. And the other thing that we see here is that the field. Right here this field has no headers. That is, price has a title, counter has a title, total has a title, but here it does not. This is done by specifying field title, like this. asterisk, none in capital letters, asterisk. Let's also disable the title for price. We just take this none right here. Here we have price. We add it here. Okay, update it. Now price doesn't have a header either. And as you can see, here we have shipping address. It's not a narrow line. As usual, it's an expanded line. How do you do that? It's done here. In the format code, we can customize the setFloat format function, which controls the different dynamics of how the fields are displayed. We can set the height to 150 pixels. Next, what else would I like to do? We have a form, and it looks a little bit boring. I'd like to do two things. One, I'd like to add a picture here, because we have pictures. Here they are. Number two, I'd like to add a description to my guitar, because I've got this filled out description right here, and I'd like to dynamically show the description for this guitar. We're going to start with the picture first. You can mess around with the picture, or you can do the following. We can, so we have select. We'll duplicate select. We'll call it image. We'll set it to sort 15 for now. We'll update it here. And we'll say it goes one after this one. It's just that we're pulling up the same value with the code. Okay, let's save it. Let's recalculate it. This is our image. Next, we have a preview set for it in select. We won't need price here. We have a preview of the image. This is a mandatory thing. We will need it right here. Here it is, image preview. Next, I want to show it before this. But I can't change its sort to a 5, because otherwise it won't pull up in the order of calculation. So I'm going to instruct it to display elsewhere, different sort. A5, and now it's displaying here. Next, I don't really need it in this table somehow. So we're going to hide it and set it to hidden by default. Just like this. That way we won't have the yellow eye highlighted. Look, it's fine, but here's when we reset it to default. It's going to be hidden. And now when we load this table, this field will be invisible to people by default. Now, what do we see in the form? We're going to update. Here we have this PRSSE custom black right here. By the way, it can be made uneditable. Let's do that. We're telling him that it's not added. It's not editable. It's just a code to get this field. We have it here. We need a picture. And let's work with the picture now. We go to Forms. We click on Configure Form. Here's our image. We tell it view type, view image. We configure it, by default we say, and we need to specify here, filled name. We have an image here, that is, we specify the filled name that is in the preview, which contains our image. And here we need to specify how this image is going to be filled in. I say cover. Okay, save. Let's see what we have here. We've got a strip with a picture on it. The only thing is, we need a bigger height, and we don't need a header. We'll put none. And the height is bigger. Here's the format in the code. setFloat format. Height, let's go to 150. Let's see. Okay, that's better, but we need more. Let's set it to 250. Save. Okay, let's see, that's good. Now we need a description here. We're going to do the description in a different way. Here we have our item. We go over here to code format. Say F1 equals colon. Set format this time, text. And we're going to use select text. Select from the stock table. Here we have it for this example. We'll take description, where it equals the value of the current field. Now, these are the formatting codes that get the value of the current row being added in the form. So we're going to go here, update, and here's our description here. If you want to get really fancy, it supports HTML as well. You can format HTML here. For example, if you want to make the text bigger or something like that, highlighting, some bars and stuff like that, HTML is pretty much available here. Let's try some other position, like this one. Great, we've got the Fidel 9002 belt with the description. The price is $28.99. Let's put 4 of them on. Everything works. That's probably all I wanted to show in this video. Enjoy using it. Bye bye. See you in the next videos.